Hi guys, how y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Wally's Food and Lifestyle. So guys, today we're going to do it very different from the other times. We're going to talk about motherhood, being a working mother, how to handle teenagers and all that. Welcome and enjoy. So now I would love us to enter into a journey of understanding motherhood in this generation, in the current generation that we are in. So I have some few tips that will help us understand motherhood in this current season. So one of my questions, the questions that I asked myself and I'm going to answer is, how do I deal with motherhood as a career woman? Growing up, I've learned so much from my mother as per how she used to raise us, as per how she used to raise so many children who are not hers biologically. Most of the times you'll find that in our house we used to live with different people whom my mom treated as her own kids. And this experience has taught me to be a loving mother, to love kids who are mine and who are not mine. So learning from her, I can say I've really copied some of the things, though her generation is different from mine. I'm a millennial and her, I know she's different, but it has really helped me in one way or another, so that I make sure I don't lose myself, because being a mother sometimes it can be kind of stressful if you don't have your you time. That is time maybe with the girls, or time with other friends, or time with other mothers, or time with my partner. Yeah, so I always make sure I create a me time outside the kids, so that to ensure that I don't lose myself. Okay, another point that I want to talk about is how do I maintain calmness as a mother? How do I avoid yelling and shouting and making noise? You know, yelling for mothers is a way of releasing your frustrations, your stress. Sometimes as mothers, we tend to release our stress to the wrong people, to our children who have done nothing. So how I control myself from yelling to my children or to the people that I live with, I always make sure I maintain a calm spirit. I have a calm spirit. I always make sure my voice is low. I have a calm voice, so that I can get to understand what is happening in the house and to me as well. Yeah. So being a mom of 3, 2 teens and 1 who is not a teen, how I handle preferences for my kids is always give them an option. Let them make their own decisions, but always be the person, be the one that decide at the end of the day which preference is good for them in terms of food, in terms of clothes, in terms of the activities that they want to do. Because with this generation, if you're not careful, they're going to sit on your head. They're going to control you in your own home. So you have to be the one who makes the decisions at the end of the day. But don't be a hard parent. Don't be hard on them. Just give them preferences. Like sometimes maybe you've cooked stew, for example, and rice, and someone doesn't want to eat rice. If there's any other food that can be used with a stew, I don't see any problem with a kid or with my kid taking and the other option, which is not our option. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about that someone asked is, how do I deal with teenagers in the house? For teenagers, I would advise any parents of my generation, make sure you are friends with your children. My children are my best friends. We talk, we laugh, we dance, we eat, we sing, but create boundaries. Always remember to create boundaries. As I said earlier, if you don't have boundaries, these children are going to control you. They're going to make hard decisions for you. So always have boundaries, always have rules and regulations. Like for my son, he knows when he goes out, there's a timeline. There's a time he can't come past that time, not unless there's a genuine reason that I'm aware of. So always have boundaries, always have rules and regulations, so that these kids won't sit on you. So again, as much as you have boundaries, always be a good listener. This generation, they love a parent who can listen to them, because sometimes they're stressed, sometimes they are going through issues here and there. Always be a good listener for you to understand what your child is going through. Someone asked, do you allow sleepovers? With sleepovers, I can say it's very tricky. For me, it's really tricky, but it depends with the family. It depends with where my child wants to go for a sleepover, whether I know the family, and up to what level do I know the family. Are they people whom I feel my child is safe? But with sleepover, it's 50-50. I can say it depends if you know the parents as per where your child wants to go to. So I won't say no and I won't say yes. So another query that I had, and I've really been thinking about this, is someone said, how old is good enough, or what age is good enough for someone to become a mother? So this is a tricky one, because I will say God is the one who blesses at his own time. You can be a mother at any age. There are young mothers, there are old mothers. But I would say personally, for my experience, I became a mother at the age of 22. And at this point, I didn't know much about motherhood, but I've learned through the process. As I've said, my son is a teenager. I've learned through the process how to be a good mother. And at the end of the day, I believe with the help of my mother and other mothers, other spiritual mothers, other friends who are older than me and their mothers, by their help and their teachings here and there, I've managed to raise good children. Yeah, and lastly, how do I handle work pressure and pressure from home? With this, I can say, always make sure when you go to work, leave your home issues behind. And whenever you come back home, leave your work issues behind. Don't try to mix work and home issues, because at the end of the day, there'll be no balance. You'll find that you're bringing your work issues at home, and at the same time, when you're at work, you're not concentrating. You are bringing your home issues to work, which may affect your day-to-day productivities. So with all this said and done, guys, I wish you well who are young mothers, who are mothers of age. I think at the end of the day, motherhood is all about learning, and there's no specific rules and regulations of motherhood. We all do it different, but at the end of the day, do what works best for you. That's what I can advise. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you're new here, kindly subscribe, comment, share, so that anytime I'm doing these kind of talks, I'm doing recipes, you will be among the first people to be notified. Adios.